This is crazy. Watch this.
A friend of mine had a $50,000 ticket to a Pelosi fundraiser that they weren't going to use, so they gave it to me. It's the first time and only time I've ever met Nancy Pelosi. I go to this event. There are like 25 people in a room. Each table has 5 people at it. And it's Pelosi, and each table is a different member of Congress. I had Eric Swalwell, who I at the time didn't know. Fascinating character. But each table was just the people who paid $50,000 to it, and Pelosi gave the speech at the end. Mm-hmm. Everybody at my table was a pharmaceutical lobbyist except for me. And that's the world that she spends her time in. That's why she's like this. So it's not only just the committees that she sits on, but she's rubbing elbows with pharmaceutical executives and yada. Who knows what kind of information she traffics in on a daily basis? It's really troubling.
I love living in a country with a government by and for the people. So obviously they have these events in person because they have conversations they don't want on record. People say lobbying money is just, people giving donations to politicians because they believe in what they're doing. No, they are giving them money and making deals. That's why they do these secret dinners where you have to pay $50,000 for a ticket for a seat at dinner. What are they feeding them? Let's not forget that Miss Nancy is a member of the ruling class. She's not just fraternizing with the elites, she is one. And that is probably, that is absolutely why she is delaying a bill that would ban lawmakers from trading stocks. Why? That's a little thing called insider trading. They have inside information about what corporations are being regulated, what industries will be affected by policies, and that gives them an unfair advantage. So much so that, look at this. The Wall Street Bets founder debuted a fund that mimics Nancy Pelosi's stock trades because her trading outperforms the market. So the guy who runs this fund that mimics Pelosi's trades said you could call it the "if you can't beat 'em, join 'em" fund. It's called the Insider Portfolio, and it literally mimics the trades of Nancy Pelosi and her husband Paul. So you put money into a fund, and they will invest it according to what Nancy and Paul are up to. They were able to make this fund because now data is publicly available for stock trading because with the passage of the 2012 Stock Act, policymakers are now required to make their trading activity publicly available, which allowed us to collect and store years of congressional trading data. The Pelosi's have made approximately $30 million from bets on the big tech firms Pelosi is responsible for regulating. Oh, and do you think people who work for those companies were paying $50,000 to sit at dinner with her? You bet your ass they were. I think the part of this story I really like is there's a trend of people infiltrating elite spaces and then exposing elites. For example, when I was in college, this scandal happened. So basically every year they would have a dinner that only the most elite students at Brown University would get invited to, children of politicians, CEOs, and a reporter snuck in one year. And now we know about him.
It's really troubling.